you're all well. I am joining you today because I wanted to tell you about my no shopping challenge. Yeah, I didn't shop for 2.5 months. Well, what happened was on January 4th, when I was preparing to come back to Milan from Switzerland, I went to the gas station to fill up my gas tank before making the trip back. And after I had filled it up and I had paid for my gas, I was putting my credit card back in my wallet and I heard snap. Yes, my credit card snapped in half. And it was a tiny gas station and everyone in the station heard the snap and they were like, it was like a film when everyone just pauses and everything goes into slow motion. And so I was laughing hysterical at that point because when has that ever happened? Your card just snapping in half when you're putting it back in your wallet. So I took it in stride. I was a good sport about it. I didn't need to use the card anymore. Packed up my stuff, packed up PJ. I got back to Milan. While I was away for the holidays, I had ordered a pair of boots that I really, really wanted. They were sold out across the world, across the globe, but they found a pair for me and I was just so happy because I was going to wear them to Milan Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week. They were going to be my winter boot. They were going to be great for the snow. Amazing. I get back to this very office and I open the box and they had sent me 2 right feet. Yes, 2 right feet. At that point I'm like, well, maybe this is a sign that I should, slow down my shopping or something. So I get on Instagram and I'm going through stories and I see Danielle Prescott's story and she clicks on a pair of, on her screen, she clicks on a pair of sandals that are really cute and then she captions it like, oh, I love these but I can't get them. So I immediately DM her and I'm like, well, why can't you get them? And she explains to me that she and 2 other friends are doing a no shopping challenge and I was immediately intrigued. I asked her how come. She responded, we work in fashion, we already have so much clothes, so many accessories, so many things. I don't think I need to buy anything else. Plus it's January. Why am I buying sale items when the season is over, the fall winter season is over and spring is coming? March 20th, spring starts, the spring and summer collections will be in store at that point. I'll just wait until then. And then she said another reason that had prompted her to participate in a no shopping challenge was the fact that she wanted to reduce her carbon footprint. When she said that to me, I was really impressed. So started to think about it. I had these 2 episodes earlier in the day that kind of led me to believe that the universe was trying to tell me to slow down with my shopping. And then, I come across the feed of someone who I admire and I respect and who I am constantly inspired by saying that she wasn't shopping. So the only reservation that I had about participating in a no spending challenge was the fact that this spring summer 18 Celine collection was going to be the last collection designed by creative director Phoebe Philo. And while some of you know some of you don't, I love Celine, and I was concerned that I was not going to be able to get some of the pieces that she designed for her last collection, and I didn't know if I could wait until March 20th to get them. I didn't know if they would last in stores that long, so I didn't want to say, yes, I'm going to do this challenge and not be able to fulfill my promise to do it. So I mentioned this to Danielle, and Danielle said, well, you want to invest in these pieces because you love the brand and you love the designer. That's different, and these pieces will have a huge value for you going forward. So I don't really think it's a problem for you to buy them when the collection comes out. I told her I would think about it, and I did, and I thought about it overnight, and I wrote her the next day and I told her that I was in. I'm a huge shopper and I'm able to indulge in many of the things that I like. However, we all need to look at the bigger picture. For example, we can all invest in material things over and over and get no satisfaction. We buy one thing, we indulge in it for a couple of days, we enjoy it for a couple of days, a month, and then we move on to the next thing and we aren't happy about it. this is a never-ending cycle that you have to think about. With technology and social media, you're seeing tons and tons of gorgeous material objects pop into your inbox or in your Instagram feed. You feel like you need them, you feel like you have to get them, you feel like you can't be left out of the tribe getting them. And this can be extremely stressful, and it could cause anxiety for a lot of us, especially when at the end of the day you'll just move on to something else and you won't really be happy. This is a subject that also concerns me as a mother, because I already see it in my son, who is constantly asking me if we can go on Amazon and get something new. And he's the perfect example. He's an only child and he's adored by our family. He has tons of toys, which he really doesn't play with, and he's like an adult. Toys that are in the boxes. He's like me. I have clothes in the closet with tags still on them, and I just am really concerned that in the future he would grow up with an empty feeling, because he's never going to really be satisfied with any of the material things that he's purchasing. Eckhart Tolle talks about this condition in his book A New Earth. He calls it ego identification, and he says it's the constant striving for more. It's feeling inferior because you don't have as much as the other person. And he says that it's obviously very unhealthy, because it is a condition that is cyclical and ongoing, and it really doesn't bring you any satisfaction. The pursuit of material objects does not bring you any satisfaction. I will talk more about ego identification in my notes in the coming months, so check back as I reflect on Mr. Tolle's writing. Another reason to consider your spending habits is related to good financial planning. Financial security is not guaranteed in the future. We never know what's going to happen, so spending wisely and saving for a rainy day are really smart ways to create a relationship with money. And we all take it for granted, but it's something to think of. And spending incessantly in the pursuit of a false gratification is something that could really create a problem in the future. I know that you probably feel that it's very ironic that someone who works in the line of business that I do would take this position, but I know that if I was feeling a spending fatigue, then some of you must be feeling it as well. And I always like to be honest about these things. Spending responsibly and spending wisely is really the best way to go. I know you also are curious about how I did in my challenge. Well, first of all, I didn't feel the anxiousness that I sometimes feel when it comes to getting a new item. I didn't feel like I was being left out of the club because I didn't get the latest shoe that came out. I was able to really also reflect on my relationship with money, my relationship with spending, and I also really just needed a reset button, because when I think about how many times a week, how every week I click and I buy something and I don't necessarily need it, I was able to see how unfulfilling that could be in the future, and how unfulfilling it has been, and how unfortunate it is, because there, like I said earlier, a lot of things hanging in my closet with tags on. And it also goes back to my New Year's style resolution, when I said that I wanted to wear more of my clothes. I have all of these great, amazing pieces that I'm not wearing, and I wanted to focus on making sure I wore everything and I got use out of everything. So this is the perfect thing. This was the perfect exercise, because I am in a place where I am doing that, and I am really enjoying it. I know you're asking me, you want to ask me, did I cheat? Well, my husband was a dear, and he got me some of the pieces that I wanted from Celine for Valentine's Day, and I did buy one pair of trousers. I had an event in Paris and I left the trousers that I had planned to wear to the event in Milan, so I purchased these pants with the knowledge that I will wear them a ton of times because I already planned a ton of outfits wearing them. So in the end, I just want to say this was a great challenge. I'm really happy that Danielle got me on board. It helped me, it gave me a lot of perspective on how I was spending and my relationship with consuming, and it really helped me to see that no, this crazy spending is not bringing me happiness, because I move on to something else, and that is just a really bad habit to have. And also, it gave me a reset button. I haven't felt anxious about purchasing anything in 2.5 months, which reduced my stress. I see that you belong to the club because of you, not because of what you're wearing, and I don't see that it's 100% important to have this thing or that thing to belong, and I think that's healthy. I mean, you belong because you are you, and you bring something special to any club and any tribe that you belong to. So thanks for tuning in, and drop me comments below. I really appreciate it, and happy and enjoyable spending.